Jacobs, the balance to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you over there, Doretha Reese Wheatley?
I'm just fine. So honored to be here again.
That's a whole name for you right there, Doretha Reese Wheatley. What made that name come about?
My aunt, no. So my name is Doretha Weaver. I got married. It became Wheatley, but Reese is my nickname. It has followed me since birth. So most people call me Reese, and some don't even know my name is Doretha. So I always include Reese so that people would associate me first with the brand Reese's Pieces and also their childhood friend, you know.
Aww. Well, that is an endearing story, heartwarming story. So people know you as Reese's.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So they just walk around and say, "Hey, Reese, how you doing, girl?"
Oh yeah, Reese. And sometimes, depending on the client, if it's a formal, you know, it's always Doretha, but eventually they end up calling me Reese too, because just the association is easier. Reese is easier to remember than Doretha. It's just a lot that goes with it. So, and then it's sweeter, you know, everybody Reese's Pieces. So,
yes.
So Reese is sweet. So I stick to it.
But if everybody wants to get to know Reese here today on the Kim Jacobs Show, because she has some sweet tips that she's going to be sharing with us, make sure you put a 1 in the comments and also share this broadcast. What we're going to do is we're going to introduce this wonderful guest, and she's going to be tell everybody what we're going to be talking about today, because I know on the flyer it says how to build a bridge and get over it. I'm kind of excited about hearing today's topic, but tell us from your perspective what we're going to be talking about today.
From my perspective,
we're
going to be talking about my chapter in Disrupting the Status Quo, Crushing Mediocrity. That is a book that I co-authored with 21 other authors, visionary author Dr. Sandra Rickett. We will be talking about my chapter, which is How to Build a Bridge and Get Over It, which basically talks about building a bridge to get over infidelity, because that was my awakening moment where I knew I had to do something different. And from there, kind of moved forward in so many different areas, causing me to become this somewhat of a serial entrepreneur.
Wow. Okay, y'all. So there you have it. You got a little taste of what we're going to be talking about, how to build a bridge, get over it. And in this case, the bridge that she's talking about is the bridge of infidelity. And she's going to be talking about her journey in dealing with infidelity and how she actually got over it to be able to become the serial entrepreneur that she is today. So this is going to be an exciting episode, everybody. Grab your virtual seats. Let us know where you're visiting in from. As you type where you're visiting in from, I'll pop it on the screen and acknowledge you throughout the broadcast. If you have specific questions, make sure that you don't hesitate to ask them, and maybe our expert here and what she's been going through can share some advice and tips with you. So when we come back after this commercial break, I am going to introduce Doretha Reese Wheatley to everyone. We'll be right back right after this break.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, welcome back. And today we are talking with Reese Wheatley. Doretha Reese Wheatley, or Weaver in the past, but it's Wheatley now, is a local Chicago dressmaker, designer, author and vision strategist. With an entrepreneurial spirit, immediately after graduating high school, she began creating certain things. I'm going to let her tell you those components of her story and how some things culminated over the period of about 30 years or so. And she's going to talk to you in more detail about that, as well as she completed a program that helped the Women's Self-Empowerment Project, Reese's, become a reality. And it's a program that she's now offering to women across the country. Reese developed a passion for giving back. For several years, she promoted a buy one, give one sale of her full circle scarf with the notion that everything must come full circle. For every scarf that was purchased, another one of the exact design was created and given to someone that was less fortunate, as well as food and prayer during like the Christmas season. So this woman is all about giving back and making sure that she helped build other sisters up. She has recently opened up a 7,500 square feet boutique and entrepreneurial hub in South Chicago corridor that offers new business owners the opportunity to share their workspace and receive resources for continuous growth and development. Welcome, Reese, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thanks for having me, Kim.
Thanks for being here. So now you have been doing this for quite a while. So take us back. And have you always had this spirit of wanting to help other people and that fashion flair about you? Talk to us.
As far as the spirit for wanting to help other people, I think that was developed when I found Christ. It's
developed for everybody when we find Christ, right?
Exactly. I was something to deal with. But as far as my sewing, it's a gift, definitely a gift. Didn't know until I was about 18 that my great grandmother was an awesome seamstress, and then my mother was also a seamstress. I think she started sewing at about 15.
Oh, interesting.
I started sewing at the age of 8. And in my previous bio, it talked about how Barbie was my first client, and I wanted her to stand out among her peers.
Yes.
Yeah, for her and Skipper and I don't remember Ken. I think it was Ken. So it was aluminum foil, socks, whatever I could find. I got to the point I started ripping up my mother's leather pants, and so we had a problem then, right?
That's funny. So you were dressing all of these Barbies and stuff all the time, and you made them fashionable.
Oh yes, most definitely. And then from there, when I got into high school, I actually took I majored in accounting, but I took fashion as a minor. And I fell in love. I just developed this great passion for fashion. So I joined we actually started a modeling club at CBS.
Okay.
And, I think it's called Models Incorporated. And I began modeling myself. I was picked as a Gitano model in the model search. Remember Gitano jeans?
Yeah, girl, absolutely.
Yeah, so I was about 16, about this big. I promise you, I was probably about 100 pounds soaking wet. But so that's when I started modeling, and it even got deeper. And so from there, I think in the late 90s, I went through the Women's Self-Employment Project. It was a 16-week program that helped women start their businesses. And that's when I began sewing Reese's pieces. Actually, it was Agape Fashions back then. It was Agape Fashions because I was sewing in the church, Easter dresses, things for different programs. And my girlfriend say, whatever happened to Reese's Pieces? Because that's what I was doing in high school. Reese's Pieces. And then I went back to Reese's Pieces. It kind of became a household name. And fast forward, in 2020, I registered as an LLC. After being at the Bridgeport Art Center for some time, I took it out of my home. I left my social work job in 2019. Went to Bridgeport in 2020, August 20, I established the LLC and just went forward. I prayed and told the Lord I needed a larger space. My students would come, they called it the hub, they wouldn't go away. And I just wanted them to have a place to be creative. So 2 years, I started looking for a larger space, and the Lord does exceedingly abundantly above
all that we could think or even ask or even imagine.
Yes. And I walked in here and he said, he showed me the first 1,100 square feet. And I was like, I'll take it. He said, no, there's more. And he took me to the back and I was like, get out. And 7,500 square feet. I have 11 rooms. And I say, Lord, what am I going to do with all of this space? I just wanted a larger boutique. He said, operate that hub you asked for. And so I'm really grateful.
Now you got it all in one.
Yes, exactly. All in one. We have an esthetician here. We have a educator here. We had a real estate broker here. She just moved to Atlanta. I have a podcast room, conference room, a break room, and I have several other spaces that are available for rent here.
That is so incredible. Now, my question to you is, on the website, I'm looking here on the website, are one of these links, will it show you the actual facility? I have these pictures right here. I know I have that.
Yes, that was my revamp there. No,
that's a real revamp. Look at,
I know.
My glass, I'm like this, like, whoa, that right there.
Yeah, my daughter's doing. Yeah.
What in the world? I have this picture too. Look at you.
That was a humanitarian event. We Dream in Color. Dr. Quentin De Alexander, internationally known designer. He's also a mentor of mine, and he honored me as a unsung hero. So that dress is called Her Story, and it represents my story. The lavender and peach is for eczema. The base of teal, it represents cervical cancer, and the purple is domestic violence and homelessness. So that's my story.
Oh my gosh!
Everyone has a color. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, so listen, we're talking with Doretha Reese Wheatley today, and she's talking to us about how to build a bridge and then ultimately get over that bridge. Mm-hmm. And her website, you definitely want to check it out. It has your one-stop shop for retail, therapy, entertainment, design, and resources. And that's ReesePiecesCouture.com. And I'll put that in the comment section for you all as well, because it's a very nice facility here. Now, as far as it doesn't show any images of the facility on this website, does it?
That I'm not 100%. I'm revamping everything. Because
it's beautiful.
Things. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm not sure. I'm not very tech savvy, so I can't.
That's why you have your daughter. That's why you have your family.
So if you can't do it, you hire someone who can. Exactly. But it's very, very nice facility. It's in a US Bank building, and the architecture and everything is just amazing here. It's a very old building. I'm very, very blessed to be in this space. And you guys just stay posted, keep looking at the website, pictures, everything will come, and all the information to rent for corporate events and get your custom dressmaking, or even connect with one of the business owners here. It's all on the website.
Beautiful. And then you can also advertise right here on the Kim Jacobs Show whenever y'all at that phase. Feel free.
Oh yeah, we'll be doing a show with you, Kim. We'll do a show.
We love it. Let me debut your facility and walk around the premises with you all. We would enjoy getting a formal tour at some point. So please share that with us when the time comes for that release. Okay.
Yes.
So when we come back after this commercial break, Reese, what I'd love for you to do is, there are a lot of women. You said there was the peach, there's the purple. They're all different colors that represent a piece of your story. Take a piece of whatever color that you want to, and take us on that journey of what you had to go through, because somebody watching today is going through the same thing probably right now, and they don't know how to go about getting out of it. Yes. So how did you make it just a piece of material on a dress that you can now look this? Let me put this back up. That you can look that fabulous in after you've experienced that level of trauma in your personal life, because that dress really has a lot of blood, tears, sweat, a lot of things behind that one image that we're seeing here. Now that I'm aware that those colors represent those things. So when we come back after this break, I'd like for you to pick one of those pieces and the colors and let us know your journey. We'll be right back, everyone. Make sure you all share today's broadcast, because somebody's going to be blessed by what's being shared with Reese today.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're going to hear about one of the colors that you're going to pull from the fabric that tangled your life up in a whole way that you wasn't even expecting.
Yes. I'm going to choose the colors that represent eczema and psoriasis. That is the peach and lavender. The,
Yes.
the reason I chose the eczema and psoriasis because the decisions that I made in my life stem from a place of insecurity. And I've had eczema my entire life. And I was taught to hide it. I was taught that it was unattractive and nobody wanted to see it. So I would see pictures when I was young, and my cousins and sisters would have on, shorts. It's summer, the cute little
Right.
tank tops. They were like little tube tops we used to wear with the elastic going through it, and I would have on long sleeve shirt and jeans. And I'm looking like, well, if it's hot outside, like, why was I dressed that way? And I remember as a young child wearing tights with my gym uniform, and eczema would stick to my tights by the end of the day, and I would have to go home, and they would soak them off and pull them off. It was a horrible experience, but it was creating more damage because I was trying to hide it rather than embrace it, and accept the fact that no one is perfect.
Right.
And if I feel like if I didn't have eczema, Lord have mercy, I don't know what type of thought that I could have become. I mean, just to think I hid myself, and it wasn't
Interesting.
until my skin cleared up that I, began to be a little more free, wearing the mini skirts and showing my skin and dating and, eventually losing my virginity and things of that nature. And so as I got older and realized what was happening, I was grateful because
Right.
it kept me. It kept me. And that was how I was able to turn a negative into a positive. But the eczema caused me to settle because I did not love myself. And somewhere deep inside, I did not believe that anyone else would really love me because, again, I was taught that it was unattractive. Nobody wants to see it, things of that nature. So I kept that deep inside. And her story was a way for me to put that out there, put that message out there. We wear our colors.
Yes.
We all have been through something, and everything in life basically has a color associated with it. And those are just my three colors. So in writing How to Build a Bridge and Get Over It, that's a book that I'm actually starting. I previously wrote a book in 2018 called The 12 Steps to Recovery from Infidelity.
Wow. Okay. Before you transition to the infidelity piece, I want to stay there with the eczema. And I know it's called different things, eczema, different things or whatever.
Right.
But the thing that I want to say is that there are women and girls. I know I can only speak for my daughter. I can't speak for all girls across the world, but she's allergic to pollen, for example. And so when pollen, which is around the world, everywhere, when it touches her skin, it leaves permanent black marks. And so we're always trying to figure out how to cover her, not because of her marks, but because of the fact that when it touches her skin, it will leave a permanent mark. And she does have eczema as well. So she has the dry patches, and we're trying to determine if the dry patches or if it's the pollen allergy. But whenever we go places, I want her to always know that she's beautiful. And no matter what, it doesn't matter what marks on her body, she is an absolutely beautiful person and gorgeous. And so I don't make her hide them because of anything that's like, because of trying to be shamed for anything, but because I'm trying to protect her from some of the things that can get on her and leave additional permanent marks. What advice would you give? Because this show is all about balancing life, how you balance this, how you manage this, how do you overcome this, all of this stuff. How do you advise parents to help their young daughters that are going through what you went through, when to not let them feel bad about what they're experiencing in their life?
Well, it's really hard because self-esteem is very, very important. It plays a great role. As for the parents, it's very important because we're the most significant people in our children's lives. And if we go through stages of development and we follow it very closely, we're responsible for putting into them what they need to successfully go to the next stage of development. So we have to encourage them. We have to remind them how beautiful they are. And we also have to remind them that no one is perfect. Like even today, people look at me, oh, you're so beautiful. And I still struggle a little bit, but my hands, they never really cleared up. I touch fabrics all the time, and wool breaks me out, acrylic breaks me out, glitter fabric breaks me out, but I still have to work. I can't cut my hands off. I can't. But I remember walking down the street one day and I saw someone with their limb was cut off. And I cried and I said, oh Lord, they would love to have my hands right now, rash and all. And I had to ask God to forgive me for being ungrateful. And then on the way back from the store, I saw a man, he had fell because he had one of his legs cut off. And he had crutches. He fell over. I had to help that man up. And then again, I had to apologize because that man would have loved to have my legs, rash and all. So I had to come to grips with that. But as far as the eczema, it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I understood that it was what was going in my body also that was causing me to break out. My entire life, my mom didn't know. First of all, she gave me steroids. She took me to the doctors and they've been giving me steroids since I was a child. And
prednisone? Was it prednisone?
No, prednisone is a whole nother level. Back then it was hydrocortisone. Then you go to triamcinolone, and then
right. Oh well, my daughter has that.
Because you get immune. So when you get immune, because it suppresses your immune system, and then it fights it off, and then they have to give you something stronger. So you're basically creating a dependency, right, for those steroids. Right. So when I became an adult, I decided I didn't want to use the steroids as much. I had to because I had created dependency. But I found out that the spaghetti my mom was giving me every week and the meatloaf with the tomato sauce on it, the country time lemonade that we had every Sunday, all of those things was triggering my eczema.
Interesting. So that's what might be why my daughter resists something. She's like, no, thank you. I don't like red sauce. I don't know if it flares something up, but she will not eat red sauce.
It does. I can't say for everyone, but most folks that I know that have eczema, things that's acidic, I'm allergic to citrus, like the lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruit, pineapples, all that good stuff.
Yeah, everything.
Because it causes the inflammation, and it causes you to break out. So if you can change your diet, be conscious, love yourself more than you love the taste of a pineapple. Love yourself more than that glass of lemonade. It's all about self-love again. So we have to do the things to love ourselves so that we can have better results in our thinking, in our feeling, just in our being. And so that's what we have to understand. And then also flaxseed oil is a way to do an internal healing because it's a gut problem. Heal your gut, and then what's on the inside comes on the outside. So then you have that better outward appearance. It's just that my skin will constantly break out because I'm constantly dealing with things that are triggers for me. I pretty much stay away from the things that you have to eat.
That's good advice. That's just good advice for life, not just for eczema or anything. That's good advice for just weight loss, for better health and overall health and healing and wellness. This is just great advice. Heal your gut and don't love a treat more than you love the way that your skin and your complexion and things can be better if you stay away from the things that are a problem. This is good advice. Y'all, Reese dropping some knowledge here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So I can tell you right now, when we come back after this commercial break, what I'd love to do is go to the virtual studio audience. I see lots of comments coming in. Go ahead and flood the comments and make sure we hashtag Reese, REESIE today, and let's get that trending as well and share this broadcast. When we come back, I'm going to go to the studio audience, give Reese a chance to address any of your questions, concerns, any comments that you may have, shout outs, love note, whatever. Go ahead and pop them in. And I am also going to put this link here for you guys in case you want to come on the screen and talk to Reese directly. All you have to do is copy and paste this link into your browser. Let me pull this up so everybody will know. It's the StreamYard link. Put it in your browser and it'll bring you right into the broadcast if you want to come on and give a quick shout out, okay? Right after this commercial break, Reese, we'll be right back. You enjoying yourself?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, everyone, we're back, and our episode sponsors, we just want to give a thank you for them taking the time to support this program, The Kim Jacobs Show. Make sure if you're dealing with any kind of disability or injury, definitely give them a call, 704-377-9157. They have locations in multiple states, so definitely do that and let them know that The Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Attorney Hunter and Attorney Everett and Attorney Payton are there at their establishment. Okay. All right. So we are talking with Doretha Reese Wheatley today, and she's one of the contributing authors in the book, Disrupting the Status Quo. We're going to talk more about her specific chapter later in the broadcast, but I do want you all to see the original visionary behind this anthology, which is Dr. Sonia Rickett Stinson. And so she's pulled together some outstanding contributor authors, and Reese is one of them that's here today. So let's go to some of the studio audience comments and see what you guys have to say. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning to you. And you can address anything you want to address, Reese.
Okay.
Let's see. Somebody said beautiful. Sean said beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, what state? What state are you in?
Illinois.
All right. She's in the Chicago,
Yes.
South Chicago corridor. Is that right?
South Chicago corridor, 92nd and Commercial. Mm-hmm.
All right. Say it again, 92nd and Commercial.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So make sure you all, it's Reese PC's Couture, and that's her shop. I'm going to put the contact information up again as well. Glad to have you. Oh, hey, the visionary herself, Dr.
Hey,
Sonia.
Dr. Stinson.
Hey, Doretha, love it. Make sure you tell your tribe, everybody tune in, Dr. Stinson. Let's say good morning, ladies. Good morning to you. Good morning. All right. She said that you are an awesome woman of God.
Praise God. God, it takes one to know one, definitely.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. She is as well. You go, Reese, disrupting the status quo. And you shared beautiful truths, Sean
Yes.
Brinkley said.
Amen.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I love the colors. That makes me want to put colors to everything and wear the white, but I don't think I look like that. And I told you today I wore this whole
I love it.
trying to be fashionable. I was like, okay, as soon as the show over, I'm taking.
And look at me playing it safe, right? I said I'm gonna play it safe.
I'm like, wow, you the fashion woman got me up here all fashioned out. You in a blazer.
This is one of my blazers. This is one from my RP Couture collection. I'm actually starting a collection of suits for women.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So,
Let me see a little bit more of the blazer because we can only see the top.
I'm a jeans girl too, so
girl, that look good.
Ain't it, girl? Ain't it cute?
Girl, you look good.
And it comes in a variety of colors, but I wanted to have beautiful colors, but the cut and fit, I want to show women that we can be cute and about that business. So,
Yes.
so yes, definitely.
You do plus size too?
Yes, it's custom. Actually, it's made to fit. They're made to fit. They're not off the rack.
Girl, don't make me wear no peach up in here with a peach blazer, button down, fitting my I don't want to say gut. I don't know if you're supposed to say that, but anyway, fitting my belly area appropriately.
We'll talk about all that later. The right cut, baby, will have all of that, and you look amazing in whatever you put on.
Girl, I'm not even trying to hide a bunch of stuff anyway. But I do feel like now I will say I won't tuck my blouse in if I know that it's like, okay, Kim, don't be in denial. Don't tuck the blouse all the way in right now. Leave it a little bit looser until you figure this thing out. Okay, anyway, we'll keep it moving. Let's see. Sean says, I love how God puts things in front of you to help you remember. Thank you for sharing this reminder.
Amen. Amen. To God.
All right. Lots of comments that came in. I appreciate your comments and definitely keep them coming throughout the broadcast. Remember to hashtag Reese and make sure that you get that hashtag going today. So talk to us. You were saying that your bridge, and you talked about it, I think some in your chapter too, about the bridge that got you over came from something, which was infidelity. Yes. Talk to us about that.
Okay, so in my book, The 12 Steps to Recovery from Infidelity, it was actually the thought of writing a book came when I realized that he wasn't changing. And I couldn't take it anymore. And there's a excerpt on I think in the book where, and I still get a little chopped up about it, but I actually had to just blow him and release him to God. I had to blow him to the heavens, and I had to do something different because the problem wasn't him, the problem was me. And I know in recovering, the first step to recovery is admitting that there's a problem. So I really had to dig deep and say, what's the problem? And then that's when it came to me. The problem is you. Why are you accepting it? And so I walked myself through the 12-step program because I was addicted to love in the worst way. I was loving others more than I was loving myself, more than I was loving God. And I needed help. I needed to be able to walk away from what I call it, the life of polygamy. But it was hard. So when building a bridge to get over whatever it is that we're going through, infidelity in my case, there were steps that had to be taken place, right?
Right.
There were things that I had to first figure out the why. Why is this happening? What can I do to stop it? What can I do differently? And it's not controlling somebody else. It's not dragging somebody to church. It's not yelling and screaming and fighting until they change. It's about what you can't tell people how to act. You can only respond to their behavior. And so I had to make the decision. Because if I would never have made the decision, he never would have stopped. And we're still friends. He have his regrets and things like that, but it's not about that. It's about where am I in this? And so I had to develop self-love. I had to develop a support base. I had to put goals in place for myself. I was a housewife for many years. Although I still sold and I did things to bring in my own money, my first priority was my husband and my children. I have 5 children. I have 4 daughters and 1 son. My son is 18. My oldest is 30. And
wow, you look good, Reese.
Thanks.
You look good. You look good in the midst of all of this. You're gonna be like looking like that. You're like, girl, God has smiled on you.
Amen. Amen.
We saw we at church now. You're like, amen. Seriously.
Girl, whenever you say God, yes, I mean,
yes, amen, amen. This is good. Let me interject for 1 second because I'm taking notes on what you're saying here, but I want to make sure that people understand you're not saying that in the midst of the infidelity and all that you experienced that you had to try to focus on how to change him. You're saying that you had to focus on yourself and what you were going to do and not worrying about what other people thought or anything like that, but knowing that this situation, this guy has no intentions of changing.
Mm-hmm. And I went through it I was married for 17 years. And I just woke up one day and was like, his father died and moved to Linwood. We were purchasing a home. And I just like, I'm not eating, excuse my language, I'm not eating no more boo-boo. I'm not going to do this. And it was like, I'm not doing anything. It's just a realization like this isn't working. That was the first one because it's a process. Just like when they say, when you go through the AA program,
right,
you have to stay away from things because you're always recovering, right?
Correct, right. Recovering. No need to tempt yourself with something that you know is already your Achilles heel. This is a problem.
Exactly, right. And so it was a process. And then it wasn't until I think divorced him in 2014, but I didn't have that awakening moment until like 2017. I was laying in bed because it was still that hope there. I'm sorry, I love you. I want to do something different. I'm like, well, maybe we can date. This is my friend since the age of 8, right. And it's like, this is the father of my children. And I'm thinking, well, maybe, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't healed. I wasn't loving myself. And you are not capable of loving anyone else if you don't love God and yourself properly. And so I had to realize I wasn't even a wife yet. Because they say he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? And obtains favor from God. If he finds a wife, that means she's already married. She's married and committed to the things of God.
That's right.
I had to get myself in order, before I could even think about trying to be in a relationship with anybody. And so my business and making sure my kids are straight, that became my priority. And now it's so much going on with this. Like, I don't even have time to seriously date anybody.
Oh, and that peach blazer, you gonna make some time, boo boo, because you can't be walking around no blazer like that and think ain't nobody gonna find a wife now.
I'm not interested. You know what? And the thing is, I've had men, right? I've had men my entire life. What I have not had is me. I've taken care of my children. I've taken care of my mother. I've taken care of everyone. I need some time to do Reese. I need to understand what Reese really wants. And if that means that there's not a lot of time to coddle and do things that relationships require, I'm in a love relationship with me, God, and my business.
Look at that. Look at God, y'all. Right? When you can hear when someone is already whole and healed, because you're not depending on another human being to make you complete. And that's something that is just permeating through your pores and what you're sharing today. So I appreciate everything that you're sharing. And I believe that everyone watching today is benefiting from these comments, being whole and healed. And like she said, when a husband finds a wife, in her opinion, is someone that's already married, committed to the things of God. That's just beautiful teaching right there.
Girl, we don't be ready. We don't be ready. We think we are. Everybody, they prepare for the wedding, but they don't prepare for the marriage. And it's a whole ministry. It's a whole ministry. And it's, what did he say? It's something we should not enter into lightly. You know what I'm saying? You don't just go into that. You make this vow. He says better, not to make the vow than to make it and then break it. We think we can just walk away. No, you made that vow. So now you're in something. And sometimes when we want to walk away, if it ain't time, or God is trying to do something in you, it ain't that easy. You gonna exit when it's time to exit, and you're gonna learn some things. And trust me, there are some things I had to learn when I was telling God, where's the alone time? He said he loved me. He not spending no time with me. God say, how do you think I feel? You say you love me. Where's the alone time? There were lessons. I said, I wanted a Christian husband. He said, are you a Christian wife? There are things I require you that you aren't doing. And somebody told me, God don't talk to you like that. Talk to me like that, because
everybody had their own experience with God. So
exactly,
you know exactly how God is ministering to you and the things that he's putting in your spirit, man. Now, when it was time for you to walk away and that bridge was there, you saw the bridge. But if you're anything like any of us as women, I can only speak for myself. I know that whenever I got married, I planned on being married for the rest of my life. I never, ever planned on not being married to the man that I had married. Been married for 28 years and been together for 32. All of my children are by my husband at that time. And so when the bridge presents itself, and looking back, that this situation is not, unfortunately, going to change for whatever the reason, that's between the person and God. When you saw that in your life, how did you come to grips with it's time to walk across that bridge? Now it's time for me to cross the bridge. I gotta go. Even though I said I'm committed for life. How can you go when you said you're committed for life? But it's not your choice to have to go, but you got to go because the other person ain't gonna it's not gonna stop. And that's not of God either. So talk to me. Tell me.
I had to walk myself through the processes. I had to understand first what the scripture says about it. When I make this decision, that means that I'm making a choice to be single. That's just what I believe. People, to each his own. But I married. I made a vow. Then this was my second marriage. I was married. My oldest daughter's husband. I was married for about 2 years. We were very young, 18 years old, right? Soon got pregnant August 19, 1991, first day of college. How crazy is that, right?
There you go. Welcome to college.
Exactly. So that didn't work out. And, like I said, we were friends for a long time and it happened. But as far as letting it go, it was like being an addict. Like I said, I was addicted to love in the worst way, right? So most addicts don't seek help until they hit rock bottom. And when I say rock bottom, it's because we function off the pleasure principle, right? That's how our brains are geared. So as long as it feels good, we gravitate towards it. We want more of it, right? But it's not until it feels that there are more bad moments than good moments. It feels worse, So now you're starting to feel bad more than you feel good. That high ain't enough for you. So eventually it got to the point where it didn't matter. The money didn't matter. The love making or sex or whatever it was called. None of that mattered anymore because I was feeling bad most of the time. And no one likes to feel constant pain. And so I realized that it just didn't feel good. And so now what do? I can't control the man. I went through that whole control freak thing for real. It was unreal. You cannot control the actions of other people. You can only control yourself. And what will happen is they will resent you. If they change for you, if they're only doing it because you're nagging them about it, which that is a whole nother scripture about folks nagging. Like, don't no man want to be in the house with no nagging woman. If you're going to pray and give it to God, or you're going to let it go. So you're the one that has to do the changing if you're going to stay. And it, like I said, it just didn't feel good. I couldn't take it anymore. And I talked to my guy, and it was what it was. And I am still single. And I'm perfectly fine with being single.
Wow, I have a tickle in my throat. So we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Samantha Benson, and I'm with Get Insured Solutions. You can get life insurance anywhere across the country, but with Get Insured Solutions, we have an advocacy program that helps families at the worst time of their lives with the loss of their loved ones. That means we have a funeral advocacy program that helps your family with funeral merchandise, negotiating the cost of your funeral expenses, and living benefits. Get Insured Solutions, LLC. Contact me, Samantha Benson.
All right, everybody. I still didn't get the tickle on my throat. That's crazy. Anyway, what I think I'm hearing you say is that if you were going to stay, you were going to stay accepting the things that were happening.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to do that. Thank you so much.
And don't get me wrong. I believe God can do all things, right? But you have to be honest with yourself, because there's a waiting period, because our time is not his time. And if you don't have the capacity to be patient, we're talking about the fruit, right? You don't have the capacity to be patient while God does his work, then you might need to bounce. And that's just reality, because it doesn't always, it's not an overnight thing. Sometimes you have to, my mama called it the shut your mouth ministry. If you know you're mouthy and you're easily provoked, how can you stay in something where everything he say you got a rebuttal? You're not allowing God to be God. I noticed that whenever God would speak to my spirit, because I was haughty, he would speak to my spirit, and when I do it God's way, and he say, just pray. My husband would come home and say things like, I was thinking, and I'm thinking, hey, God, that's funny. I allow God to touch his heart, because he holds the heart of man in his hand and turn it whichever way he pleases, right? But if he come home and I'm mouthy like, and I want to give all of this attitude and give him a piece of my mind until I went crazy, because you're going to give away so much of it. So now I'm crazy because I'm steady giving out a piece of my mind. God never called me to do that. So then that means that I get the consequences of my choices, because we can choose our sin, but we can't choose the consequences. So you think about that, and we do it our way, then the results going to come from us doing it our way. And I asked God, at one point, I felt like God had left me. And I went to a healing heart section, and they told us to go back to that moment where we felt abandoned by God. And it's really funny, because it was a moment where because I was a private investigator. I was all crazy. I started my own private investigation company, Catch a Whole Private Investigator.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You went all the way there. Catch a Whole.
The girl was crazy. So I ended up in a situation where I saw him with a young lady that he had stayed out with. And I would say the Lord led me there, but no, it was me being a private investigator. And so I got there, and that's the moment when God took me back. And I saw God standing next to my husband, and he had his heart in his hand, and he was turning it. He was turning it. And what God was letting me know was that because I love that man so much, right? That now I had idolized this man, right? God had to turn his heart away from me so that God can accomplish something in Reese.
Wow.
And so he turned my husband's heart away from me because he is my first love. He is my husband first. I had it twisted. And so now that we're apart, and I can say that now my heart has been turned away from my husband because now, well, my ex-husband, because now he's doing everything to prove his love, whatever. It's just not there. But God has to accomplish some things in him. I can't be his focus. God needs to be his focus, just like God had to be my focus.
Wow, you're dropping so much knowledge today on this show.
Girl, it's real.
Yes, it's real knowledge, straight from, I'm sure, how God has put it in your spirit. Dr. Sonia said that this is just so powerful, so powerful. Nicole Peters said there's nothing like a healed woman. She said, preach, preach. Yes.
Amen.
And Dr. Peters is the founder of Believe in Your Dreams television network, and it streams in over 200 million households around the country. And so definitely this story will be on that platform as well, because the Kim Jacobs Show, we've signed our contract and we're prepared to move forward. Excited about having the show be aired on Believe in Your Dreams network. Yes. Also, God will send you the right one. And yeah, he's gonna send somebody over there with that. All I can remember is that blazer and how everything flowing. Where you stand, I was like, girl, bye. You look good. You look good.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
So this is exciting to hear how you've turned really divorce into a positive outcome. And that's masterful how you've been able to do that. Because I haven't heard people do that too often. And I've done a lot of research, listened to a lot of videos, heard a lot of counselors and different things speak on the subject of divorce. But how you're saying now, how almost like the tides have turned, where you used to look at your ex-husband as this is the person I love, I adore, I appreciate, and everything. But God wanted you to focus on him and put your heart and your desires towards what his will was for your life. Now it's the tides are turned. Your ex-husband's like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I adore you, I adore you, I adore you. And you're like, no, focus on God. Let God be your saving grace.
Yeah, it's important. And I do, but there's nothing in the world that man won't do for me, honestly. When I got the hub and hands and knees with everybody else, trying to help the dream become a reality. And that's good. That's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, unless God truly has that heart, baby, you are capable of anything. And that's my perspective. When we're talking about building a bridge, we're talking about perspective. That's key first. First, you have to see it in the way God sees it, right? Because that's the right perspective. So once you have that right perspective, then you begin to build, everything you need to get across from tragedy to triumph, right? So that's right. Bridge. So you start to put things in place. Guard your heart. Wear folks as a loose garment. Understand that anybody is capable of anything because we all have frailties. And trust God. Trust God through the whole process. You have to. And you can't trust in man more than you trust in God. And I'm not pouring salt, but you have women that really, I know my husband ain't cheating. We share a phone. We do this. And I just smile like, oh.
Okay. And nobody's saying, believe it or not, at the end of the day, he may not be. And so that's a beautiful thing if he's not. But you don't know what a person's doing.
You don't know what
your children doing. You don't know. You cannot say 100% about anybody else. You can barely say 100% about ourselves. So I can't speak for other people.
Exactly.
Anything that anybody else have going on.
Exactly. And that's the key, the perspective, because it's how will you respond just in case. In the event, how do I respond to that? Is my love in place? Is it in the right place with me? Because you don't know what a person's doing. And you can Whatever you have to tell yourself, that's fine. But the choices you make shouldn't be based on the other person.
That's so important.
You know,
And I know I can only again speak for myself. I have, in younger years in my marriage, I had some situations. So I thought there's nothing in the whole world that would make my husband ever, ever look at another woman inappropriately. I just 100% believe that. But you cannot say that if you don't really know, because you're not the other person. You
and it
don't know
shouldn't be
what,
important.
huh?
It shouldn't be important.
What
It's
do you
it's
mean?
not that important where he put his eyes. That's between him and God. You understand? It's not that important.
That's what that's really the bottom line. I think for me that I found is that that God loves him, he loves me, he loves whoever else is in the world, and I'm not God. That's what I do know. I'm not God. So who am I to say what God is going to allow and what he's going to say is appropriate? And I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I'm not the expert in this area. All I know is that right is right and wrong is wrong. And
Right.
so that I do know. And so it's right if
Yeah.
you're married to stay faithful to your spouse,
Exactly.
and whether you're a male or a female, and if you are going to be having extra marital situations, go about your business.
Yes, it's too
That's
easy.
what I think. Just go about your business. Because
Yeah.
then at the end of the day, give that person the opportunity, whoever it is, fill in the blank, the opportunity to be able to choose whether they want to have other people involved in their lives. And I know me, I don't want that. I don't want anybody
Right.
that's stringing me along to make me feel like you're exclusively loving me and that we're in this wonderful love affair. And at the end of the day, you're okie dokie me and doing other things. I have no interest in that.
And that's the key word. You said choose, right? We all have, God gave all us free will. And I asked my girlfriends when I was writing a book, like, what's the problem? Because when you're dating, it's women, you don't have a problem. You don't even think about it, right? But then it becomes a thing of people taking your ability to choose away from you. When
That's not right.
Hey, let's sit down and have an adult conversation about what you're feeling. You don't love me no more, baby. Just say you don't love me.
I don't love you like that, boo boo. It's okay. You have the choice to love whoever you want, and you go about your business. But at the end of the day, don't make it seem like you madly in love with me,
Right.
and we are on one accord, and everything is going smoothly. And at the end of the day, you're not being truthful and doing your own thing. That's not fair.
Right.
And I don't like. I actually detest stuff like that because I think that you think you're with a one exclusive situation, and then you're exposing your private parts to a lot of different people. That's nasty. And I don't want no parts of stuff like that. Do you, Teresa?
No,
With
it's
your
like
sweet self, you want
right now. Look, right now, I don't know
private
who I
parts
am.
to all these folk.
No, that's not cool at all. Don't take away our God-given ability to choose. God gave us all the right to choose, and how dare you impose on that? Have the conversation and be adult to deal with the consequences of your choices. Period.
But at the end of the day, as we're talking about all of this, the point is the choice is ultimately yours. If you choose to be a part of a tribe, then enjoy. Have a great field day. Enjoy your life. If you choose that I don't want no parts of that, then go about your business. And that's the point. And that's what I choose to do if I'm not interested in stuff like that.
Yes.
So, but I haven't had on a blazer like that either. You never know what guy will be like, hey, I got a peach blazer.
Look, all the temptations, right?
We're being silly, y'all. Listen, we're enjoying ourselves talking today to Reese, and she is just dropping some serious knowledge. Make sure you all take a moment to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show if you haven't done that already. It's on our YouTube channel, and we appreciate you subscribing. And watch some of the shows too. It gives some watch time over there. Also, make sure you all just pour into the broadcast. I consider it a ministry, actually, because I believe that the tips and the advice that people are giving on this show really does help people get to a better place, whether it's them balancing, juggling, managing some aspects of their lives. And the only way we can bring balance to the world, one household at a time, is if you all continue to sow into our program. So please, if you would, Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc., or you can do PayPal. You can even become a Patreon member, which gives you some exclusive content backstage. And we appreciate everything that you all do to contribute to the program. And they can stay connected with you. Tell them, Doretha, Reese.
Okay, you guys, most of my connecting is going through my website. I am totally revamping, rebranding myself because of the awesome blessing I just received. I'm no longer just a dressmaker, but I'm a business owner of a 7,500 square foot entrepreneurial hub. So most of the information updates will be found on my website, www.reesespiecescouture.com, or Instagram at rpcouture_. If you Google Reese's Pieces Couture, my business information also comes up on Google.
That is awesome. Now tell us about this entrepreneurial hub too, right when we come back from this commercial break, okay? Because I'd like to hear more about what it is that, and how much time do we have? Oh my God, time. We at noon. Get out of here. Okay, I got to play my last commercial, and I want to hear a closing point about your entrepreneurial hub.
Okay.
And then we come right back. This is crazy. Time flew.
Yes.
Oh my gosh almighty. Okay, I had a good time with you, though. That's for sure.
Yes, thank you.
All right, let me see. I got to find I don't move stuff around back here so much. Okay, right after this break.
Lamb Funeral Home has been serving the Cabarrus County in North Carolina and surrounding communities for more than 9 years. Our staff of funeral directors are dedicated to providing the very highest quality of service and continue to be well respected throughout the communities we serve. Our professionals are caring, experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. These requests and traditions are the utmost importance to our staff of licensed funeral directors. From the initial care to aftercare, you can entrust your loved one and arrangements to Lamb Funeral Home.
All right, everyone, we're getting ready to close out here with Doretha Reese. I could talk to you all day, Reese. You know how you be like on a chair with your socks off?
Girl, come on over to the hub.
We be going in. Okay, so let's go ahead and hear about the Entrepreneurial Hub. And if you have a quick tip that you want to share as we close out. Wow, I can't believe the time went. Go.
Well, the Entrepreneur Hub, we will be hosting the book launch here, a book signing, a mass book signing with some of the authors. I think it is the 23rd of April. We're putting information out on social media about that. But the Entrepreneurial Hub is just a place for resources and growth for today's entrepreneur. I offer lease space to entrepreneurs. We have quarterly meetings where we talk about the business, how it's doing, how can we help her improve. It acts somewhat of an incubator, but it's more of a hub where it's not as strict as the incubators when it comes to letting the entrepreneurs come in. We host events on a regular basis. We have writer's block where people who have a desire to write can come together and get writing tips and have a quiet space to write. Spoken word, yoga. We're just partnering with a lot of entrepreneurs in the community. Those are the events that we have here. But then we also have the entrepreneurs that are here running their businesses on a daily. So it's a good business. We're still in a constructing phase. We still have a few rooms that we have to construct. It definitely need a total redo when we got here. So we've been working on it little by little since October.
Well, one thing I want to do, even if it's on one of our Freestyle Fridays, we have Freestyle Fridays where we just have panelists come in and do some expert tips for 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. Maybe on one of our Freestyle Fridays, you could just come in and show us the facility and give us a chance to just do a quick tour for about 3 to 5 minutes or so.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
So I'll make sure we book that. The location is 9204 South Commercial Avenue. It's in the Chicago area. Phone number is 773-877-8884. And they have space available for you all if you're looking to, as a business entrepreneur, you're looking for some space in a beautiful facility. Definitely check out Doretha Sweet Reese over there. And obviously she's been through a significant journey herself and some traumatic experiences, but she's crossed that bridge and she's letting God use her. And I know you're a fashion designer. So can you tell the women at least 3 quick tips on what we can do from a fashion perspective? Because when I think of fashion, I think of like foo-foo and all of this stuff, right? But you got that blazer and that's sleek and chic. So give us at least a couple of tips right quick before we close out.
Most important is dressing for your size and your body type. Everyone has a different body type. Everyone wants to be an hourglass, but the truth is we're not. And it's okay with not being an hourglass. You know, if you wear the right garments, you'll look amazing in whatever you put on because you're dressing for your body shape, not the body shape that you desire to have. The other thing is also wearing the appropriate colors. Certain colors just does not complement certain skin tones. So you have to know if you're in the warm category or the cool category, and you wear colors to complement your skin tone. That's very, very important.
But what's my color? Do you know my chocolate color?
Where you're warm, yeah, you're chocolate. So we look great in warm colors.
In warm colors, I just need to what are some warm colors? Like
Orange,
earth tone?
Orange. Yeah, earth tones are really good. Then you have orange and things like that. The cooler colors are like blues and turquoise and colors like that. So we would say more warm colors. Yeah.
This spring, y'all gonna see a bunch of oranges, turquoise. What about red? Is red one of my colors?
You can do red. Red looks great both sides. It does, but it complements the warmer side much better.
Oh yeah. So my color is warm. Y'all might want to get your own connection with Reese to find out your colors. Okay.
Yes,
any other tip?
No, basically that's it. It pertains to fashion, and also if you really want a couture look that complements your shape, then look up Reese at www.reesespiecescouture.
Yeah, if y'all don't if you don't do nothing else but get that blazer in your color, you don't be set. That blazer, or let me show y'all this last thing one more time, because this right here is a dress that she designed, and it has the colors of her story wrapped around at the base. She looked good. That looked good. And so she know what she's doing over there in that 7,500 square foot building, and she can design all different types of looks for you to match your colors. Make sure you get a copy of the book from Reese, Disrupting the Status Quo. She's one of the contributing authors, and the visionary is Dr. Sonia Simpson. And Dr. Simpson did a great job of selecting you as one of these contributing authors. So make sure you all stay connected. Go and subscribe to her on IG, Instagram, go to her website, learn more, take a tour, and then also go and visit her facility if you are in the Chicago area, right at 9204 South Commercial Avenue.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed myself with you. I look forward to more engagements with you.
I do too. I had a ball. Thank you all for tuning in today. Somebody said that, hey, y'all dropping some serious knowledge, great tips. I see you, Felinda Farley. She has, if you all are ever interested in shopping online and want to avoid going, no matter where you are in the country, if you want to avoid having to go into the grocery store, the department stores that you can just skip a whole section, because she has some products and services that are available to you. Tell her that Kim Jacobs sent you. I shop online, and everybody always asks, let me take a minute. People always ask me, oh, Kim, what do you wear on your face? What do you do? Oh my God, your skin. I use products through Felinda Farley that I personally use. I am faithfully committed to using those products. And if you see Felinda, you'll see she's flawless as well. My skincare regimen comes from the online shop that I shop through with Felinda Farley. So I endorse what it is that she'll be sharing with you, and let her know that Kim Jacobs sent you. And it's going to save you some time anyway, because you won't have to go to that whole department in the store. All right, so I did my whole little thing. Let's see. Y'all are dropping some serious knowledge on this show, somebody said. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, we have to go ahead and somebody said, at the end of the day, Carla said, at the end of the day, God. Nothing more to say.
That's it. That's
Drop
it.
the mic. End of the show. On that note, right there, Carla, you said the closing comment. Everybody, stay backstage because I need you to do one thing for me, Doretha.
Okay.
Reese. I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. We have an African-American female medical physician that's going to be here on the show. She's going to be talking about Black and Hispanic health. It's going to be a lot of stuff that she's going to be talking about tomorrow for International Minority Health Month. You don't want to miss this episode. She's going to be dropping some knowledge too. We got some great shows, y'all. What? All right. Talk to y'all tomorrow. We'll see you at 11. You're awesome, Reese. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet. Bye-bye, everybody. everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.